A for loop is a while loop with a few extra features added onto it. Let's see how this program runs. So it prints out the contents of this string array, and it does it using these three components. So there's a variable I. It gets initialized here when the loop first starts running. Here's the condition, which is familiar to while loops. And here's what to do with the variable at the end of each iteration of the loop. So what it's saying is start at 0 and increase I as long as it's less than the length. So the length of this string array is 4, but the indexes are 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we want the indexes to stay less than 4. And that's how we're getting each element of the string to print. Here we've got an array of integers, and we're totaling it up. Almost the same idea. So we're using this field inside the array called length, and in this case length is going to be 6 because there's 6 elements in our array. So we get a total, and then we're printing it out after the loop finishes running. Here we're just printing out the value of I as it increases. So I starts at 0. As long as I is less than 5, we're going to increment I, and we're going to print it out. So we get the numbers from 0 to 4 being printed. Here you have a little bit more of an advanced example. We have a for loop inside of a for loop, and that has sort of an interesting effect. If we just consider this for loop for now, we can see that it's going to print 4 or 5 letter O's in a row. This loop is going to print the 5 letter O's and a new line, so it's going to go to the new line. So you can tell that this program is going to print out more than one row of O's, so we get this effect. So we've got 3 rows with 5 characters in each row. We can do other things with nested for loops. We call this a nested for loop. We say that this for loop is nested within this for loop. And we can see that this upper bound is being changed each time I changes. So this has a sort of an interesting effect. I starts off at 0, which means this doesn't run at all. And then it's 1. So this runs 1 time, and then it's 2, and this runs 2 times, and that's why we're getting this sort of growing list of numbers. In this program, we have an array list of tickets. So we initialize our array list, and we tell the array list what type of class it's going to hold. It's going to hold a ticket class. And a ticket class simply has a performer name, a row letter, and a seat number. And it also has a constructor here, which allows you to give values to the fields. So row gets row letter, seat gets seat number, and they're passed in as parameters. So those parameters are are getting these arguments, and these arguments are what's initializing the object. So dot add will add it to our array list, and in this for loop, we have a little bit different syntax, which is basically makes it easier to go through a list, and we just say ticket T in tickets, and then if we print out T dot performer, for example, so we print out the performer field, we're going to get all the performers.